Good evening. Tonight I'm telling a story from Folktales from India, edited by A.K. Ramanujan. This is a Rajasthani tale called Brother's Day. Once there was a brother whose sister was married and lived far away. He said to his mother, "Mother, I want to go visit my sister on Brother's Day and see her dressed in new clothes. Many other men are going to see their sisters, and I want to go too." The mother said, "My son, you are still a child, and your sister lives very far from here. How will you go? On that road there are lions and wild animals. They'll scare you. How will you go?" But he replied, "No, Ma, I want to go." The mother prepared a bundle with a long skirt and a wrap for her daughter, and a turban and a shirt for her daughter's husband. She gave the bundle to her son and said, "Go safely and see your sister dressed in new clothes for Brother's Day." The youth started out. On the way he met an enormous tree. The tree said, "Brother, I'm going to fall on you." He said, "Don't fall now. I'm on my way to see my sister dressed in new clothes for Brother's Day. You may fall on me when I come back." Continuing on his way, he met a river, which said, "I'm going to wash you away." He said, "Brother River, don't wash me away now. I'm going to see my sister dressed in new clothes on Brother's Day. After I've done that, I'll return. Then you may wash me away." Next he met a snake. The snake said, "I'm going to bite you." He said, "Don't bite me now. I'm on my way to see my sister dressed in new clothes for Brother's Day. After I've done that, I'll return. Then you may bite me." Then he met a lion, and it said, "Brother, I'm going to eat you." He said to the lion, "Don't eat me now. I'm going to see my sister dressed in new clothes on Brother's Day. When I return, you may eat me." At last he came to his sister's village, and there he found his sister sitting at the spinning wheel. Their eyes met, but she did not get up, because just then her thread broke. It is believed that if you greet a guest when your thread is broken, harm will come to that guest. But the brother did not know why she did not get up to greet him at once, and he thought to himself, "Oh, I've come so far to meet my sister, but she, my own sister, doesn't speak to me." He quickly turned to leave, but she joined her thread in a hurry and said, "Oh, brother, where are you going? I was only protecting you. I couldn't greet you with a broken thread." The brother and sister joyfully greeted one another, and she went hurrying to the neighbour woman's house. "Oh, neighbour lady, my brother has come and brought me gifts of clothes for Brother's Day. What should I do?" The neighbour was not a kind woman. She said, "You slut, plaster the courtyard with oil and put butter on the fire to boil." So the sister quickly filled a big pot with butter and put it on the fire to boil and began to spread oil around the courtyard. But the butter didn't boil and the oil didn't dry. She hurried to another neighbour and said, "Oh, auntie, my brother has come to give me clothing for Brother's Day. I asked the other auntie what to do, and she said to plaster the courtyard with oil and put butter on the fire to boil. But the oil won't dry and the butter won't boil." This neighbour woman was kind and said, "I'll tell you what to do. Take yellow clay and cow dung and plaster the courtyard with these. Put rice in water to cook. When it is cooked, serve it to your brother with butter and a lot of sugar." She came back to her house, plastered the courtyard with yellow clay and cow dung, cooked the rice and water, and put lots of butter and sugar on it. Then she fed her brother sugar rice. One day passed, then 2, then 4, and the brother said, "Sister, I'll go now." When she heard that, she thought, "I'll make some round cakes for my brother. I'll shape them and send them home with him. My father and my mother can eat some of them, and my brother will have them to eat on the road. I won't pack ordinary bread. I'll pack nice round cakes." Next day she got up in the middle of the night and began to grind some wheat. She had just begun to grind it when a black snake fell into the flour grinder. The snake got ground up, and she didn't know it because it was night and very dark. She made all the flour into round cakes and packed them in a cloth. At dawn she bade farewell to her brother. She gave him the bundle of cakes and said, "Go, brother, go safely." She had kept a few of the cakes, only 2 or 3, for her children. After her brother left, the children began to pester her. "Hey, Ma, you gave him something all wrapped up. Now give us some too." She said, "I gave all the cakes to your uncle." But her children didn't believe her words and would not stop pestering her for the sweets. So she took 2 cakes and broke them into halves, 1 half for each of the 4 children. She had just begun to hand them out when she saw that black snake's bones were scattered throughout the cakes. They were sticking out. She cried out, "Oh no! At this very moment my brother may be eating this and dying." And she ran to the kind neighbour woman and pleaded, "Auntie, please watch my house and take care of my children. At this very moment my brother may be eating those cakes and dying." The neighbour woman agreed, and the sister went running after her brother through the jungle. 24 miles this way, 24 miles that way, she ran through 48 miles of jungle. As she ran, she called, "Oh, brother, stand still, stop!" At last she came near. The brother heard his sister coming. He recognized her voice and thought, "Why has my sister come running after me? I've taken nothing of hers. Why is she calling me?" When he saw her, the sister said, "Brother, you've not eaten the food. You've not eaten it, have you?" He said, "See, sister, this is the way you wrapped the round cakes, and they are still wrapped the same way. I haven't touched them. They're still in my bag." She cried, "Oh, brother, a black snake's bones are ground up in them. When I broke one, they were sticking out." He threw down the packet of cakes and went back with his sister to her house. The sister kept him with her for nearly a week. Then her brother said to her, "How much can you protect me? As soon as I left our village, I met an enormous tree which said, 'I'll fall on you.' After that, I met a river which said, 'I'll wash you away.' Then I met a snake and it said, 'I'll bite you.' After that, I met a lion and it said, 'I'll eat you.' How can you protect me?" His sister took her necklace to give to the river. She took a cup of milk for the snake and a goat kid to feed to the lion. She took 5 toy pebbles to please the enormous tree. Then she ran to her neighbour once more and said, "Oh, auntie, please watch my house and look after my children. I'll accompany my brother to my parents' home and then I'll return." Then the brother and sister went into the dangerous jungle together. The sister saved her brother from the lion, the snake, the river, and the tree by offering them the things she had brought for them. After they had walked for a long time, she became thirsty. Her brother said, "Sister, I'll climb that tree and look around. Wherever I see herons circling in the air, below them I'll find water." He climbed a tree and did see some herons circling over a place at some distance in the woods. He said, "Sister, there is surely some water over there. Herons don't circle unless there's water below. You wait for me in the shade and I'll go and bring back some water." While he was gone, the sister saw Mother Fate wandering in the forest and heard her saying to herself, "I'm making a cover for the heart of the only son." The sister called out to her, "Old woman, mother, what are you doing?" She answered, "I'm making a cover for the heart of the only son." At once the sister understood from this that her brother was going to die. "What can I do, mother?" she pleaded. Mother Fate told her, "After Holi and after Diwali, on Brother's Day, tell the story and worship your brother. Worship him, but on Brother's Day curse him. By these curses your brother will be saved." Right then and there the sister began to curse her brother. "May my brother's bones be gathered. May my brother die." She did not stop even when her brother came back. He was shocked to hear her cursing him and thought, "What will happen now?" They continued on their way and reached their home. There they found that arrangements were under way for the brother's wedding. The sister said, "You are fixing his engagement. Fix mine also." This was a crazy thing to say, as she was already married. The brother said, "My sister used to be good and smart. What's happening to her now?" It was time for the pre-wedding ceremony, and the groom was seated on a special stool. His sister said, "Why is he sitting there all by himself? Let me sit there also." The others thought this weird, but the brother said, "Let her alone, do as she asks. Let her also sit on the wooden stool." When the groom was rubbed with oil and turmeric to make him fair and handsome, the sister cried, "Rub it on me also, rub it on me also." The brother said, "She has gone crazy, let her be." When he was called to eat special meals at the homes of friends and relatives, she said, "I will go too." And thus she did everything that the brother did. When it was time for the groom's departure from the village on horseback, grooms must go to their brides' villages for the wedding ritual. She insisted on riding the horse with him, and he said, "Let her be, let her sit with me." When the brother was going to strike the wooden marriage emblem over the bride's doorway with his sword, his sister said, "Me too." And when he sat with his bride to worship the gods, she sat with him. The brother said, "She has gone crazy. She must do whatever I do." When it was time for the couple to take the marriage rounds around the sacred fire, completing the ritual, she also took them. When the wedding party returned to the groom's home with the new bride, the sister went too. Then, when the bride and the groom were going inside to sleep, the sister said, "I'll sleep near them." The brother said, "Let her sleep here." So they stretched a curtain between the bridal bed and the side of the room where the sister slept on the floor. The new husband and wife fell asleep, but in the middle of the night the snake came there, slithering towards the sleeping couple. How could the sister sleep when she was waiting for her brother's enemy? She spotted the snake, struck it, cut it into 3 pieces, and hid the pieces under a shield. Then she went to sleep in peace. The next morning, when the others woke, she was still asleep. The brother said, "My sister is asleep. I'll say farewell to my guests now. She is crazy, and who knows what she will do when she wakes up." But his mother protested, saying to her son, "No, she is not crazy. It's not like her to sleep like this. From her birth she has been a light sleeper. Wake her up now, while your guests are still here, or else you'll have to call them back." They woke her, and the sister said, "Gather the whole village. Let everyone know why I left my children at home with my neighbour, how I followed my brother, leaving home and family, all because of my brother's enemy, that snake who came here on his wedding night." And she lifted the shield and showed everyone the snake which she had cut into 3 pieces. She then explained everything. "Brother, when we were in the jungle, I met Mother Fate, and she said, 'I'm making a cover for the heart of the only son,' and told me to worship my brother on Brother's Day, after Holi and after Diwali. Brothers should give long skirts and wraps to their sisters, and sisters should curse their brothers. May my brother's bones be gathered, may my brother die. May he live long." The end.